New day, new fun, and let's get going. Alrighty then. And as always, this video will air on July 28th. And as always, if I don't say it again later when I close the video, live long and prosper. My star. My star. My star. That's the end of that. I still want to get stuff. Da 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 cha la cha 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 la cha cha la cha 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 la cha 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 cha. Choo 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 choo. Da master. Do 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 da da da. Do do ba ba chi chi ba cha 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 cha. Chalusha, chalusha, chalush, chalush.
I have to say, the survey reports on this system, nor I. We're reading a number.
There's a moon nearby. The pulsar's throwing off a lot of hazardous energy.
Most astute, Captain. Let's make the appropriate shield adjustments.
I don't like this. Scans are showing a lot of bare rock, but no metals or compounds. It's a lot.
Like it's being completely stripped of anything remotely useful? The calling card of the Herc, if I'm not mistaken.
It's barely Class D. No metals, complex compounds, liquids, or atmosphere.
The interior is a complex maze of tunnels. Thousands of them.
This matches Herc patterns we've seen elsewhere. They've been here.
The probe is online and transmitting. Entering scanning range now.
Astronomic readings, an orbital period of several thousand years. That explains the Herc life cycle. They must hibernate while the planet is at the far range of its orbit. This orbit coincides with the previous emergencies of the Herc. The 1,000-year cycle explains why they appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly.
We're reading complex structures here, along with power systems and technology. This could be a base of operations for the Herc. It appears to be deserted. Why don't we take a look around? This could be a prime opportunity.
Let's meet on the Defiant. We'll need to make some preparations before we send an away team down there. I've sent a team down to establish a secure zone. They're ready for you, but you'll want to put on an EV...
I should have a habitation area.
Reading a lot of background radiation.
Everything's in order here. Defiant, do you still have a lock on us?
Affirmative. If you need transport, there may be a slight delay due to pulsar emissions.
I'm getting something odd on my tricorder. Up there!
Glad you're still with us. Be careful.
This is Bashir. Garrick and I are alive, but we're a little lost.
Keep moving. You should head up to another chamber. The creature's in a passage near your location. Stay sharp.
Garrick and I are moving into a very large, oblong chamber.
And here I was, hoping those cozy, cramped little tunnels would make a nice vacation spot.
Looks like the door to the next chamber is locked.
Those readings you're getting from that crystal, yes, of course. I think you'll find a way to manipulate that.
The readings I'm getting on that crystal are weak. It probably isn't usable. That one's got an odd harmonic. Doesn't seem to match the rest. That's the one you need. Use it to open that door.
You can't fight that thing! Run!
Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
There's a deep crevice ahead of you. See if you can get across.
Oops. Nope.
Hazardous energy and anti-gravity ahead. Use your thruster. Creatures turn back. Must not like anti-gravity. Slow and steady, don't get lost. Try to head up when you can.
Garrick and I have a breathable atmosphere here. Everyone, try and reach our location.
Williams here. I'm stuck in some kind of tunnel maze. Not sure how to get out.
Ishimura here. My nav system's useless. I'll keep trying to find you all.
Receiving your transmission from the console. This one looks like technical data. Interesting. Kane, report. I just lost crewman Kane's vitals. Weir's comm signal is down, but he's still alive. Keep an eye out. Bashir and Garrick are just past this chamber. We're picking up some interest. We think there's...
A pleasure to see you.
Hut technology. I found a little info based on these ones.
Good. You made it. We were about to leave when... No! No!
What's going on? Ishimura's vitals just flatlined.
Enemy target on sensor. Flanking damage detected.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
That covers the first peaceful meeting between the Herc and the Founders over 3,000 years ago.
One of your officers has arrived here.
You're a sight for sore eyes. Let's get out of here before...
William! It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
The Herc tried to synthesize the enzyme they needed for cognition, but failed.
One of your officers has arrived here.
My god. The enzyme the Herc need is a precursor to ketracin.
Enemy target.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Nicely done. We should be able to the first results are in. Excellent. I'm getting some historical records now. Give me a moment.
It appears we have some uninvited guests.
You're a long way from Zenketh, Admiral.
Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure?
Traveling incognito?
One of her many covert identities, I suspect.
This expedition of yours has gone on long enough.
Touched a nerve, have we?
You found a secret I've kept for millennia. Something I've kept from Odo and the Great Link.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
I needed soldiers to realize my dream of dominion. Enforcers willing to obey without question. Physically, the Herc were perfect candidates. But their peaceful, free-thinking nature was an obstacle. In studying the Herc biology, I found the key to their loyalty.
The Ketracel precursor?
Yes, I extracted it from their ecosystem. They had no choice. Obey or die.
I take it things didn't go according to plan.
No, they became savage, incoherent, volatile. With each cycle, the swarm grew larger, wilder. My ability to control them diminished. All I could do was point them in the direction of my enemies. I would let them rampage and await their eventual hibernation.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
They were a failure, but they provided a gift. Ketracel, the gift that led to a more successful endeavor. The Jem'Hadar.
I think I've heard enough. I knew you were involved in this somehow. You built an empire on slavery, and now it's all falling apart. When the Alliance learns about this...
But they won't. None of you are leaving this world alive.
You would kill another founder?
There were other founders who knew the truth once, like you. They did not want a dominion built on the backs of slaves. They tried to depose me, to expose the truth to the Link. They failed, and paid for their lack of vision.
All of you, against the wall.
Odo, this is getting out of hand.
Stop this, now!
No, Odo. This is bigger than you. Bigger than us. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that.
What now?
You've forced my hand. This is a modification of your own Herc lure. As we speak, every Herc in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And you're calling them here? To their homeworld?
On the contrary, madam. I'm calling them to the Founder homeworld. Your chickens, as the humans say, are coming home to roost.
Insanity! We will...
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
I think that's our cue. Now that...
You did this? All of you? You killed a god? My god? My beautiful founder. Gone forever. I loved her so. And now you'll pay the price. Guards!
Enough, Wayun. All of you, stand down.
No! You betrayed her! And the Dominion! I will carry out her final order!
That founder is no more, Wayun. This founder has given you an order, and you will obey.
No! He is no founder! She was a founder! He is a traitor! Guards! Shoot to kill! All of them!
Belay that order.
What?
We do not serve you, Forta. Where this founder leads, we will follow.
Thank you, my friend.
Fine. Then I'll do it myself.
Take Wayun into custody and return to your ship. We have business at the home world to attend to.
Tell me, was it part of your plan to draw every Herc in the sector to this system, Garrett? Because if it was, it worked with flying colors. We need to get out of here and fast. Our only hope is to punch a hole through the swarm so we can go to warp.
Try to hold them off. I'll see if I can arrange a distraction. signal. They're heading for the founder home. The Herc.
Thanks to Garrick, I hope.
There's a certain poetic symmetry at play here. The Dominion are about to receive their comeuppance from one of the many species they've abused. Regrettably, we Cardassians have some experience in such matters. Of course.
Congratulations, General.
The homeworld of the Founders is under attack by the Herc. This is our darkest hour. If Empersa falls, the Dominion will come to an end. I'm asking you to join in the defense efforts as soon as you can. A task force will assemble, if you'll excuse me. Previously on Startrek Online, the Dominion as you know it is on the verge of collapse. Without your help, the Herc will win the war of attrition.
What's happening?
Yes, Garrick, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Kremen tech.
I found a similar device on Bejor.
These devices call the Herc, and we put them there. The other Founders are hiding things from me.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
We can't hold off the Herc forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother. Otherwise we're doomed.
The Sword of Kahless, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
You found a secret I've kept for millennia.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that. As we speak, every Herc in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And now the conclusion. I arrived here ahead of you, and I've already engaged the Herc.
I'm afraid that's the problem, Ambassador.
Then why are the Hercs still attacking? Don't play games with me here, Garrick. I'm warning you.
Perhaps they're still attacking due to a deep hatred of your people. After all, the Founders are directly responsible for their state of mind, body, and soul. I can't say I blame them for...
Enough! Both of you. We don't have time for this.
Agreed.
We may be needing your solution to this problem soon, Doctor.
Yes, since yours failed. Thank you for that.
Has it? Some might argue against it.
my ship won't last much longer. We need to deal with the swarm attacking it immediately.
Target shields have failed.
Well done.
Oh, we've bought ourselves some...
It's as ready as possible.
And the hard part? What do you need to make this happen?
From what we've learned about the Herc, the best way to make this happen will be to enter the data into one of their core computer systems. It'll need to be a command-level system with fleet-wide override authority. Systems of that caliber are only found on Herc dreadnoughts.
There's a Herc dreadnought heading toward the planet as we speak. It's slow, so we should be able to intercept...
I'll send some of my best.
Right. Let's get...
Loris and I have all we need.
We'll need to find their central computer core. Once we're there, I'll begin the override process that will allow us to transmit our data on the cure. When that's done...
Enemy life signs ahead. Get ready to fight. Proceed with caution.
Excellent work. It's time for Loris and I to finish this.
Goes here! That one goes there!
I was saving time by inverting the feed now instead of later.
I thought you were supposed to be Starfleet's best and brightest!
I wouldn't even be in Starfleet anymore if it weren't for this Herc nonsense.
We're running out of time, Doctor!
Perhaps you know a faster way to translate Herc language and reverse engineer their technology. Almost ready here. The system... Are you insane, Weyoun? That was our last hope.
How is this possible? You were in prison!
I was liberated by those who still serve the true founders. Not everyone is a traitor to the Dominion, after all.
There is only one traitor here, Weyoun. It's time you paid the price for your treachery.
Pathetic. You can't even kill someone properly. Allow me to instruct you. You! Jem'Hadar! Make yourself useful. Kill them. Giving you an order! Open fire! Kill them, now!
I think not.
He's gone.
and not a moment too soon.
Bashir to command. Everyone, we have a problem.
That Herc fleet is about to attack our position.
fix there, Odo.
Brilliant observation, Quark. What do you want?
Forgive my brother, Odo. We're here to help.
The Ferengi cavalry? I thought I'd seen everything.
Oh, the best is yet to come, Odo. Say hello to my dangerous friends.
Well, Quark, we're waiting.
Ron, where are they?
Lose something? Like your nerve, perhaps?
Long ago, Takufma, the Unforgettable, lit the beacon of Kahless to restore glory to the Empire. Today, a new torchbearer, Worf, son of Moog, does the same. United, we now go to fight the enemy of our ancestors. Today, we will fight the Herc. I now hold the weapon they fear most. The Sword of Kahless has been returned to us. Join me now in honorable combat. Show the Herc what it truly means to be Klingon. For Kahless, for the Empire, Kapla!
Jesus.
Time has come. Whom do we seek? Careless! How do we find him? Together! Careless! Give us light to see forever! Will he hide from us always? Never!
It's worse than we thought. Most of the gems...
We'll meet you there as soon as we can.
The Gem Hadar.
We won't last long out in the open like this.
Odo to Kira. We're fortifying our position near the Great Link.
Understood. We're on our way. I'm picking up Founder life signs ahead. Please tell me you have more Gemini coming to help.
The call's been sent, but they may not arrive in time.
We'll do what we can with what we have then.
As always, until the end.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that, Odo.
Nerys, if we don't make it...
No, now is not the time for this discussion.
Look around. There may not be a better time.
And I understand what you do.
You do? I feel the same. Are you hurt?
It's just a scratch. I'm fine. We're losing ground here, Odo. Keep fighting.
We can't hold this position much longer.
That's Jem'Hadar, for we're about to die, Doctor. Are you ready?
Not without the Ketracell components needed for the cure.
Ketracell. Yes.
Wait! Stop!
Is life.
It seems the battle is over, but how? What happened up there, Doctor?
I believe Dukan Rex realized that his own body contained the Ketracell material I needed to finalize the cure. He extracted what we needed at the cost of his life. Once the Hurk were able to synthesize the cure, they came to their senses and called for an immediate ceasefire. Their forces are withdrawing as we speak. There was nothing I could do for him on the Herc Dreadnought. The Ketracel extraction process was too devastating. Odo, you treated him like a son when we first found him on DS9, and I'm truly sorry.
He didn't even have a name when he left us. I'll make sure the name he found is never forgotten. I remember his first days on the... I suppose you're right. I believe Captain Kira was looking for you. She was at the Temple of the Prophets last I checked.
And here we are, once again. Funny you should mention it. Subtle.
It is good to see you once more. I was hoping we'd have a moment to speak on an important matter. My thoughts often return to the Orb of Peace. It was no coincidence that it was found in the Gamma Quadrant, in the midst of two warring tribes. I believe it to be a message from the prophets, one of guidance in troubled times. Now that the conflict with the Herc has ended, I feel it's time to explore this omen more thoroughly. The recent vision experienced by Loris is truly remarkable.
Hello again, my friend. It pleases me to see... Thankfully, no. Rather, with the blessings of Founder Odo, I have been transferred to this quadrant to continue my studies of the Orb and the Prophets.
Thank you for coming to visit. After all we've been through...
We'll be here at DS9 until my ship is repaired. I don't like to think about how close... Search yourself.
Welcome back. Did you take a hit? That's more like it. Don't take it personally. You could be Odo. Not much to tell. Who do you think you're talking to? Can I get you something?
A hard-fought battle and a well-earned victory. Yeah, the legend...
Oh, I'm so glad to see when word got out.
I am forever indebted to you. Without your efforts, I would walk the path of...
That was quite the battle. Starfleet's... It is. Interesting. There's a message. I wouldn't keep him with...
The conflict may be over, but some time ago...
Thank you for meeting me. Quite so. Oh, it is. Oh, I believe our fearless leaders...
I have initiated a dialogue between the Dominion and the Karema. In light of recent events, I feel it is imperative that there...
The Harvest Cool sector has been designated as independent from the Dominion, and a Herc neutral zone has been established around it. The Empire will join the Federation and the Republic in keeping the peace between the Dominion and the Herc. We have experience in enforcing a neutral zone after all. Martok's use of the beacon and the return of the blade has led to a renewed interest in Kahless throughout the Empire. Some say that Martok stands with honor next to great heroes like T'Kuvma, Vok, L'Rell, and Kang. As if getting along with a stubborn old Targ wasn't difficult enough, his ego will be larger than Mount Hamar at this rate. It is fortunate that Martok has little in the way of political aspirations. Otherwise, I may need to kill him. Again.
There have been some significant diplomatic events since your return from the Gamma Quadrant. First, the Dominion is joining the Alliance. Having them as allies will take some getting used to, but the opportunity was too great to ignore. As a condition to joining the Alliance, we requested that the Founders take steps to free the Jem'Hadar from their addiction to Ketracel White. I'm happy to say that Ambassador Odo is inclined to comply with that request. It will make things interesting in the Gamma Quadrant, to be sure. Still, it's been a long time coming. The Jem'Hadar should be able to live their lives freely.
The Dominion is about to go through a number of changes, liberating the Jem'Hadar from the White, phasing out the Founders' benevolent dictatorship, establishing a safe haven for the Herc. Needless to say, I'm going to be very busy for quite some time. No, there are still a number of Founders within the Great Link who will be very resistant to change. I'd like to think they're outnumbered by those willing to take a more democratic approach, however. The last thing anyone needs is a Dominion civil war. Also, not all of the Herc were cured. We'll be dealing with rogue swarms for some time. I hope we can call on you in the future if we run into that special kind of trouble you have a talent for dealing with. Oh, and speaking of trouble, you might keep an eye on Quark. That little act of heroism with the Sword of Kahless will make him bolder than ever.
Things are finally settling down around here. Well, as much as it ever settles down, that is. Well, there's a lot to be done with the Herc, and being part of Starfleet will help me make things happen in that regard. When I'm not here, I'll be working with the Lucari and the crew of the USS Aventine to help the Herc get back on their feet. Indeed, but I happen to be married to the captain of the Aventine, so it won't be, too bad. The kids won't be joining us until Kumake and her team restore Havas-Kul to a more habitable state, however. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. But until then, be safe out there. Doctor's orders.
The future of the Dominion is uncertain for the first time in many years. Without the Founder and her unbreakable will at the center of it all, the Gamma Quadrant will undoubtedly go through a great deal of turmoil. I'll do what I can to maintain order and keep the peace, but it's going to be challenging, to say the least. For now, what matters to me is that you fought for the Dominion when we needed it the most. I won't forget that. And thanks to the Great Link, neither will the Founders. Thank you. I hope we meet again under much better circumstances.
Congratulations, General.
Suspect Stallions are ready to resume the trials. As you know, our participants...
Okay, with that, we're going to end the game, and this video will air on July 28th, and as always, live long and prosper.